Happy Valentine's Day. Lots of things I love this week. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, February 14th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. The big thing that happened this week was the State of Play. PlayStation State of Play Direct style showcase was filling in a lot of gaps that were kind of missing from like the second and third quarters of the year. So we got a lot of confirmed dates, a lot of big things that people are excited for. So let's talk about it. The first thing that kind of happened with me was Borderlands 4 got a confirmed release date of September 23rd, which is awesome. And I also saw that there's now speculation because because 2K also has GTA 6, which is apparently coming out this year as well, and they wouldn't like release them within like 2 months of each other. So like, is GTA going to release in early November? So people are already trying to speculate when GTA 6 is. If it's even going to happen this week, this year, I'm still betting it's a 2026 title, but we shall see. But that was the first one. I didn't like the delivery with like Randy talking to themselves and Randy Pitchford. You know, there was a little bit of gameplay shown, but still left a lot more to be desired. And it sounds like there's going to be a bigger announcement coming down the pipe in the next couple months. But we have a release date, so hopefully they stick to that. And September 23rd happens. So look, I know that it'll be hard to convince all of my Borderlands friends to like come back after they've been burned by both Tiny Tina and 3. But I bet I could get 2 or 3 people back, and we'll run around and shoot stuff and get crazy guns. So I'm looking forward to that one. Another title that I'm looking forward to is Directive 8020. This is the next dark picture anthology game, except for it takes place in space. So no more, no more terrestrial problems and killings amongst high school, heartthrobs. It's now we're in space and we have to worry about, aliens and colonies coming after us. So I'm looking forward to that. That's coming out October 2nd. So it'll definitely be a Spooktober game for me. Another game that I've been keeping track of that recently got put on my radar is Hell Is Us. It's a kind of like post-apocalyptic fantasy game where you have like a lightsaber and it's like an action RPG. It looks really cool. And it's got a September 4th release date. So looking forward to that. A little bit closer to us chronologically, Days Gone is getting remastered. And as someone who didn't play the first Days Gone, although I think I have it on PS Plus, I would be curious to see kind of what they do with the remaster and maybe sit down and actually play it this time. Another game that's even closer, I don't know if this is actually a Don't Nod game, but Lost Record, which is very which is an episodic game that is very like Telltale like or very much like Life is Strange. That's why I don't know if it's actually a Don't Nod game. I don't remember if it is, but the first episode is coming out next week. So I forgot the next for Blood, Bloom, and Love or something like that. So looking forward to that, and I love the Telltale and any of those kind of narrative games. So I'm looking forward to Lost Record. There's another one that caught my eye, Tides of Annihilation. I'm not very much into like the Bayonettas or Devil May Cries of the world, which is what this kind of looks like. I saw some people calling it like Stellar Blade, but with Arthurian fiction, and that's the angle that kind of got its hook in me. I'm a big fan of like Arthurian fiction and stuff like that. So I'm curious if I'll pick this one up just based on that and maybe expand my horizons a little bit. No release date for that one. And then the next Housemarque game, the company behind Returnal, was also announced. No release date. I think it said 2026, but I'm looking forward to it. I loved Returnal. I think it had all the right vibes. Gameplay was awesome. Didn't end up finishing it, but loved the game anyway. So I'm looking forward to what they can do with the main actor, Romo Kalny. I forget his name, but they got a pretty prolific actor playing the main character. So interested to see, is it another roguelike? Is it a bullet hell? What's all about. So curious to see what they do with that. But those are all the ones that kind of caught my eye. I know there was dozens or so with a lot more titles and dates in there. So if you feel I forgot anything and something else that should be kept on my radar, let me know down below in the comments. We also had a video game launch this week. Avowed has launched. This is Obsidian's take on Elder Scrolls. Maybe not officially, but having originally had the Fallout IP and then having it transferred to Bethesda, who made 3, 4, and 76 and all that kind of stuff, and then making Outer Worlds, which is just like Fallout in space. It's interesting to see kind of what they do with Elder Scrolls, which is another Bethesda IP, and now they're just aping it straight on. But yeah, it's 80 Metacritic. I think that some people have their kind of issues with it, and maybe it's not fully fleshed out in some areas. But overall, 80 Metacritic. I think is still good enough to potentially download on Game Pass, which I should probably hop in and just see what it's all about. So, but yeah, I'll have a link down to a bunch of guides that'll help you like get things started, and if you're having any quest issues, I'll have a link down below for you to check that out. Unrelated to the state of play, but we got another confirmed release date for a pretty big title. Elden Ring Night Reign, the Elden Ring co-op multiplayer experience, had a confirmed release date of May 30th. So we won't be too long before we're playing that as well. I believe there's a tech test this weekend, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, Elden Ring's multiplayer $40 game with no DLC or microtransactions. Or no microtransactions. There probably will be DLC and more characters and bosses added in eventually, but yeah, that new co-op Elden Ring experience that that I bet a lot of us will be excited about is coming out soon. So I think we'll have just enough time to have burnt out maybe a little bit on Monster Hunter Wilds to go in and start learning other bosses to mechanics to go and kill. So I am looking forward to Elden Ring Night Reign. For the tens of people who haven't switched over to Marvel Rivals, Overwatch 2 is still putting out new characters. The new character, I don't remember her name or their name, but it looked like they were wearing like a snow outfit and they were wielding a crossbow, which I thought was pretty cool. I was surprised thinking back to all the different ways that I guess they have a bow wielder in Overwatch, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what a crossbow wielder is all about. So I thought it looked pretty cool. So looking forward to that. PlayStation 5 has hit a significant console sales milestone. I'm pretty sure PS5 Pro is not helping at all, but as of the end of last year, PlayStation 5 has reached 75 million unit sales, which is amazing, and in the upper echelons as far as console sales are concerned. It doesn't sound like it's on track to surpass the PS4's 120 million, or the PS2's 160 million. I definitely don't think we're gonna get there. But all that suffice to say, they're still doing pretty well for themselves, and they're still 3x what the Xbox Series have done with like their 28 million. So, it's not quite as big as it has been, but still better than the competition, unfortunately, for Microsoft, which is why all their games are coming to PlayStation, because a bigger install base. But I digress. Speaking of things being financially profitable, Control 1 was announced that as of the end of Q4 in a financial report, Control 1 has been profitable for Remedy. So they are now fully fledged and jumping on board for Control 2. It sounds like everything's starting to go up. Production's starting to ramp up. So I don't know are those necessarily related? Like you can't make 2 until the first one's profitable? Maybe. But yeah, we'll I'm looking forward to Control 2, and I know it was like we were waiting for a trigger or something like that. So I thought that was just kind of being production. I know they'd probably been pre-production for quite some time, but now they're saying they're in full production. So I'm looking forward to Control 2 whenever that comes out. At the end of this decade. Saw a pretty cool item this week. A Deep Rock Galactic tankard has hit Kickstarter, and for $55. I know that's quite a lot for a tankard that you pour alcoholic beverages in, but as anybody who's ever played Deep Rock Galactic knows, one of the best parts of the game is just like bullshitting before you enter into a mission with your friends, drinking and throwing cups at each other and all that kind of stuff. So Could be good kind of to relive that with a real tankard. Maybe I will throw a tankard at my friends. You're not the boss of me. Moving right along, another cool video game that's coming out soon. I saw the first impressions for Killing Floor 3, and I know a couple of my friends have played the previous Killing Floors. Killing Floor 3 comes out March 25th. And yeah, the first impressions seem really good. Seems like it ups a lot of the systems and goes a little deeper on a lot of the systems. And yeah, the zombie killing is always fun. So yeah, I'll have a link down below for you to check out those first impressions. But yeah, I might be looking for more multiplayer games to play this year. It seems like that's the only time I'm like making room for video games nowadays is so I can hop on with my friends. So looking forward to more Killing Floor or to playing Killing Floor and hopping in and seeing if I enjoy that with my friends. Now that the full Marvel marketing machine is up and running and getting behind the latest Captain America, Peacock is trying to siphon away some of that attention for their also Anthony Mackie related IP thing that's going on. Twisted Metal 2 is coming. Is the season 2 is starting up soon, so they're trying to build hype off of the Marvel, all the big Marvel money, and they're trying to build, ride on the coattails and build some hype around Anthony Mackie and how he's also in Twisted, the main character of Twisted Metal. So, curious to see whether that brings some more eyeballs to Twisted Metal. I didn't watch season 1. I also don't have Peacock, so that's I digress that way, but yeah, I'm curious to see, does this get any more eyeballs, and do we get a season 3 of Twisted Metal? Which, who knows? But maybe I will go watch. Maybe it all was successful, and I'll go watch season 1 before season 2 comes out, and Peacock will have gotten their hooks in me. But overall, I think more people are concerned about the Metacritic scores on Brave New World than they are, Twisted Metal season 2. Last but not least, don't want to always talk about Hasbro IPs being divvied out to partners, but I announced last week that the Magic IP will be turned into a live action movie with Legendary Pictures, who recently made the Dune movies and some of the Godzilla movies. And now this week, Dungeons and Dragons is also getting a live action TV show, but this time on Netflix. So they're not exclusively farming out their IPs to a single company, which is interesting. But yeah, Netflix is going to do a live action D&D show. So I don't know if this is just going to be holistically set in Eberron or Dragonlance or any of the other worlds or the Forgotten Realms, or if this is going to be like a Monsters and Mazes kind of situation where, like, are we a meta narrative as well as an internal narrative? It'll be interesting to see, but and how D&D specific it is, because I know it's always an issue of like what makes it feel D&D as opposed to generic fantasy, is like the mimics and the beholders of the world. So but I digress. I'm looking forward to a D&D live action show a little bit more than I am to a live action Magic movie. So yeah, we'll see how both of those go as they kind of build up. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend, super long weekend. I hope you have a super day. Bye.